Sarah, I will start with you. You've been working this story all day. In fact, you've been working this story for weeks. It's been a big existential question out there. Tell us the latest today.
So today, after all of the many months of rumors that you and I have chased, this is the first time we've heard from sources definitively that Goldman Sachs is working with Twitter to deal with incoming interest and have sort of these informal conversations with bidders that could turn into something more formal.
So, David, Salesforce versus Alphabet/Google. What do you see Twitter getting out of one versus the other? And what do they get out of Twitter?
Well, it's quite different in the case of the two different companies. Obviously, in many ways, Google I think could be said to be the company that most could benefit from Twitter if they were capable of using it properly once they owned it. But they need a social system. They need another way of connecting with people, of interacting with people as bots and other systems that they really don't have a play in are become more and more important. I think that's why they announced the Allo messaging service this week. Twitter could help them there. It's just very expensive. In the case of Salesforce, it's a much more of a kind of from left field idea that a enterprise technology company that's really been trying to move into being sort of the de facto leader in cloud-based enterprise software would want to own what is more or less a consumer service. But I think from the standpoint of Mark Benioff, who I happen to know quite well, anything that really draws more attention to the company and helps underscore their ambition to be a service provider to a lot of different kinds of companies, including marketers, could be a plus. And I think, it would really put Salesforce on the map in the kind of common parlance in a way they never have been before. And that might be worth a lot of money for Salesforce.
They certainly didn't shy away from bidding for LinkedIn, and Mark Benioff told that to us a couple of weeks ago. He wanted to do the deal, but you can't win them all. Interestingly, also, Salesforce's chief digital evangelist, Vala Afshar, tweeted this morning. Why Twitter? 1, personal learning network. 2, the best real-time content, rich news. 3, democratize intelligence. 4, great place to promote others. Sarah, what do you make of this?
I think somebody internally got excited. Maybe he doesn't know exactly direct details about a bid or anything like that. In fact, we haven't heard that there is a solid bid from anyone right now. I think Salesforce has always sort of promoted social selling using Twitter. There was a blog post in 2014 where they said, get out there, make relationships with people on Twitter that you want to sell to, make it part of your strategy. And so maybe this Salesforce employee got excited by the reports and said, why it makes sense for them.
So let's talk about what's actually happening within Twitter. I spoke to Ev Williams, co-founder of Twitter, who is on the board, who had this to say to me when I asked him about whether he wants to sell the company just a couple of weeks ago. Take a listen.
My faith is high in Jack. I fully supported Jack's.
And do you see, and look, I know, you can only go so far, but we've seen a lot of M&A. Do you see Twitter remaining an independent company?
No comment on that. I mean, we're in a strong position right now, I think, and as a board member, we have to consider the right options.
Interesting that no comment became a comment that drove the stock up.